Imagine sitting across from the person you've built your life with, and they calmly tell you they're going to start seeing other people, while you're still married to them. Not because you agreed, not because you want it, but because they've already chosen someone else. That's exactly what happened to Daniel when his wife dropped a bombshell over morning coffee. I'm going to start seeing other men. It's called an open marriage. What followed was a slow, devastating unraveling of trust, love, and the life they had built together. This is their story. Welcome to Breakup Cheater, where real stories of love, betrayal, and heartbreak come to life. Here we unravel the moments that shatter trust, the choices that change everything, and the strength it takes to rise from the ruins. If you've ever been broken, betrayed, or blindsided by the ones you trusted most, you're not alone. This is where the truth is told, and the lessons are learned. I'm going to start seeing other men. It's called an open marriage. I told my husband. I was halfway through stirring my coffee when she said it. Calm, flat, as if she was asking me to pass the salt. I'm going to start seeing other men, Daniel. It's called an open marriage. The spoon slipped from my fingers, clattering against the ceramic mug, sending a splash of scalding coffee onto my wrist. I didn't feel the burn. I just stared at her. My wife, my partner of 7 years, sitting across from me at the kitchen table as if she had just announced what movie she wanted to watch tonight. Emily, what? My voice came out hoarse, barely audible. She leaned back in her chair, arms crossed over her chest, her expression maddeningly serene. You heard me. I've been doing a lot of thinking lately and I feel trapped. Monogamy isn't for me anymore. I want to explore. I want to feel alive again. My stomach turned to stone. This wasn't the Emily I knew, the woman who once cried when I surprised her with a weekend getaway, the woman who said I was her best friend, her safe place. This felt rehearsed. Like a line she had practiced in the mirror 100 times. Is there someone else? Asked, my throat tight. Her lips pressed together, and she didn't answer right away. That pause was my answer. I felt my chest tighten as a wave of cold washed over me. Who? I whispered. Does it matter? She said, her voice barely above a whisper now, but her eyes didn't meet mine. For weeks, I had felt something slipping between us. A new distance, subtle at first. Late nights at work, her phone glued to her hand, the way she started dressing up for girls' nights more often. I told myself I was imagining it. We were both busy, life was stressful. But that morning, with the sunlight slanting across the table and her confession hanging in the air like smoke, it all clicked into place. My hands trembled as I pushed my chair back. How long, Emily? How long have you been seeing him? She sighed, rubbing her temple. Daniel, this isn't about just one person. It's about freedom. About us being honest with what we want. Honest. The word stabbed deeper than a knife. I laughed bitterly, shaking my head. Honest. You've been sneaking around behind my back, and now you want to dress it up like some enlightened decision. The next few days blurred together. I went to work, came home, and pretended like the walls of our house weren't collapsing around me. Emily was suddenly cheerful, humming while she cooked, texting someone late at night with a smile on her face she no longer wore for me. I started noticing the details. Her phone face down, the faint scent of cologne that wasn't mine on her scarf, the late-night showers after yoga. I wanted to confront her, to scream, to demand answers. But every time I opened my mouth, the words stuck like stones in my throat. Until one night I followed her. She said she was going to meet her friend Claire for dinner. I waited 15 minutes after she left, then grabbed my keys. My gut churned as I drove, headlights slicing through the rain-slick streets, tailing her car until she pulled into the parking lot of a dimly lit wine bar, one we had been to on our anniversaries. I parked a few spots away and watched as a tall man in a gray coat stepped out of his car. She ran to him like a teenager, her arms sliding around his neck, lips pressing to his with a passion I hadn't felt in months. My breath hitched. My fingers dug into the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. There it was. Proof. Not an open marriage. Not freedom. Betrayal. That night I didn't sleep. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, feeling like the floor beneath my life had given way. Every memory, the first time she held my hand, the night we danced barefoot in our first apartment, the promises we made under a fading sunset, now felt like ashes. The next morning, I placed her wedding ring on the kitchen table. "Daniel, what is this?" she asked when she came down, still smelling faintly of his cologne. "I'm not going to compete for your love," I said quietly. "You've already given it to someone else." Her mouth opened, then closed. For a moment, she looked like she might cry. "I told you what I needed. I wanted us to be open, to explore." "No," I cut her off, my voice finally steady. "You wanted a safety net while you played with fire." The weeks that followed were a blur of cold silences and shallow apologies. She said she didn't mean to hurt me. She said she still loved me in her own way. But love doesn't lie. Love doesn't ask you to watch it be shared with someone else. I met with a lawyer. I gathered the bank statements, the texts I had screenshot, the photographs I had taken from that rainy night outside the wine bar. I wasn't vengeful. I was resolute. I would not be her safety net. When the papers were served, she called me crying. "Daniel, we can fix this. We can have therapy. Please, I don't want to lose you." I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But trust is a fragile thing, and once shattered, it cuts deeper than any blade. On our last night under the same roof, I found her sitting in the living room, clutching the same mug she used that morning when she shattered my world. "Why, Emily?" asked my voice low. "Why couldn't you just tell me you weren't happy? Why make me the fool?" She looked up, her eyes red. "I didn't know how to say it without breaking you." I almost laughed at that. "You didn't break me, Emily. You just showed me who you really are." She reached for my hand, but I stepped back. The divorce was finalized 3 months later. I moved into a smaller apartment across town, where the silence didn't ache like it used to. I started running again, cooking for myself, rediscovering the parts of me I had lost trying to hold our marriage together. Sometimes I wonder if she ever regrets it, choosing momentary thrill over something real, something steady. I hear from mutual friends that the man she left me for didn't stay long. That she's seeing other men now, just like she said she would. But that's no longer my burden to carry. Betrayal doesn't just end a marriage. It rewrites the story you thought you were living. Teaches you who you are when the ground gives way. And for me, it taught me this. Love isn't about holding someone while they look for something better. It's about standing up when you've been broken, and walking away with your dignity intact. I didn't slam the door when I left. I didn't scream. I simply stepped into the night with my ring in one pocket and my future in the other. Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do is leave. Sometimes betrayal doesn't come with shouting or slammed doors. Sometimes it comes in a calm voice over a kitchen table, tearing your world apart one sentence at a time. Daniel didn't choose to fight for someone who had already walked away. He chose to fight for himself. And in doing so, he found the one thing his wife could never give him back: his self-respect. What would you have done if you were in his place? Stay and share your heart? Or walk away and protect it? Tell us in the comments.